Okay, here we go. We're doing quad tutorial number 8, and that is we're going to factor um, where there's something different, right? Do you notice right away, oh my gosh, look at that 9 in front of the x squared. So we're going to learn how to factor when there's a number that we can see in front of the x squared. You know, we know that when there's not a number in front of the x squared, there was always a 1, but now there's a 9. It's like, okay, we're going to do, now this is over these classes. I know that in other algebra teachers' classes, they're going to teach this different. This is the way I do it, and I like it, so that's the way I'm going to teach it. So we're going to do it, basically it's kind of a guess and check. It's like, instead of guess and check, how about it's have fun and check, because I think these are fun. So basically we're going to set up our little parentheses, right? And we're going to go about them a little differently than we did when there wasn't a number in front of x squared. We're going to say, all right, we're going to have to deal with it, right? We've got this 9 right here. And so that means that whatever we put here and whatever we put here, when we multiply them, it has to equal 9x squared. So we have two options, right? We could either put a 9x and 9x. I'm sorry, no, 9x times 9x is 81x. Or you could put a 9x and a 1x, which I'm just going to put an x. Or, I'm going to put a couple of these because we're going to have some things to choose from. Or we could put a 3x and a 3x. There's really only two choices with that 9x squared. So do we agree 9x times x is 9x squared, 3x times 3x is 9x squared? All right, either one of them will work. We don't know which one's going to be the answer. All right, let's move on. Our next thing that we're going to do is we're going to look at the number at the end, this positive 2, and we're going to ask ourselves, what times what equals 2? Now, normally we say, what times what equals 2 and adds to 9. But as you can see, that's not going to work this time, is it? So we got a little bit different. We're going to do it a little differently when we see that there is a number in front of x squared. We're just going to say, hey, what times what is 2? Well, we have a choice here, right? It can be 2 times 1 or 1 times 2, okay? So I'm going to back it up for a second because you're like, it's the same thing, Miss Overby. It doesn't matter which way we put it, but it does. So let's back up and let's go ahead and put, see how we had that 9x there? Let's put the 9x here and the x here. Now let's stop. Are the 1 and the 2, are they positive? They're both positive, aren't they? So let's go back. Oh, I still think I still have my orange. So we've got plus, 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 and plus. All right, now, before we move on, I know you're like, okay, Miss Herbie, this is a lot of guessing and checking. We're going to be okay. So let's go ahead. I'm going to move things down a little bit. I'm going to move that down a little bit. I'm going to see if maybe this first one is the right one. And we can be like, we are done doing this guessing and checking. So let's see. Let's go ahead, and this is how we're going to check. This is our trinomial. This is our factored form of our trinomial. So if we go and we distribute our factored form, we should get right back to this. So let's see if we're right, right? I have a feeling we're not going to be right, and that's okay, because that's kind of the fun of it, if you think this is fun. All right, I do. Here we go. All right, so when we distribute, I take 9x times x. I hope you can see this. 9x squared, right? So far, so good. Yay, we got that one right. All right, 9x times 1, that's 9x, right? Okay, we're done distributing the 9x. Let's distribute the 2. 2 times x is 2x. 2 times 1 is 1. All right, now here's the deal. I'm going to have to move these down a little bit more. Move that down too. Okay, so here's the deal. We see that right here, this 9x squared, we're good, just like we talked about. We see that this, oops, did I say 2 times 1 was 1? That happens sometimes when I'm making videos and I'm talking and writing, but that's about the silliest thing I've ever said. 2 times 1 is 2. You're probably yelling at me, Miss Overby, no, no. All right, so this 2 right here, that is this 2. But here's the problem we have. These two middle ones have to add up to 9x, to the one of this in the middle, right? And 9x plus 2x is 11x. We're like, oh no. Let's write the rest of it. It looked so good, except for this darn 11x part, all right? So we know this one is not it. We're saying, no, that's not right. Now, I'm going to tell you, when we start practicing these, we're going to get faster and faster. I purposely picked the wrong ones first, all right? So we could get over the fact that we're going to just try things, and if they don't work out, who cares? We just try another option. All right, do you think, if that one didn't work out, do you think there's a chance that maybe this one that we wrote next will work out? Well, let's try. I'm going to move this one down, and I apologize for, oh, it's not letting me move that. Oh, they're attached. All right, well, then you know what? I'm going to just erase them. We'll come back to that. Not the little bitty eraser. We need a bigger eraser. All right, so here we go. We're going to do the same check, which the check says 9x times x is 9x squared, so we're good there, right? 9x times 2. Oh, no, we can already see that's not good. We got an 18x there. What do we want? We want there to just be a 9x. So we already can tell, no, this one's not going to work. We can just stop here. So let's go ahead and go back. What was that third one that we wrote down? Let's see. We wrote, let's get the turquoise. So we put a 3x and a 3x. And we have two choices, right? We can put our 2 here, which is where it belongs. But I'm going to do it wrong so we can go through all of our things. So we put our 2 here and our 1 here, and let's go ahead. So off we go on our little merry way. 3x times 3x, 9x squared. We already know. Good job on us. 3x times 1 is 3x. Oh, you know what? Duh. It doesn't matter where I put the 1 and the 2. It's going to get multiplied by the 3x. So here we go. 2 times 3x is 6x. Oh my goodness, do you see how it's working? 2 times 1 is 2. All right, so we're good. We've got our 9x squared. We wanted that 9x squared, right? And when we combine the two middle terms, 3x plus 6x, that's 9x. And then we've got our 2 to bring down. And let's just double check because mine's so far away, I can't tell if this is the problem we started with. 9x squared plus 9x. Yay, we did it. Okay, so I know that your teachers, I think, teach you an x method, or and if you like that way, do it that way. I'm teaching an alternative way because I think it's fun. And I know that no matter what, I'm going to remember this because it's just tackling a problem. All right, let's do our second problem. And once again, we notice we have a trinomial, and whenever we factor a trinomial, we can go ahead and set up our parentheses, right? Okay, we're going to focus first on this one right here, 6x squared. I have two choices. I could do a 6x and an x, or leave a little space down here. I can do a 3x and a 2x. Okay, both of them give me that 6x squared when I multiply. Now, you know that if we have, let's switch up colors, if we have this 2 right here, this positive 2, I need just 2 times 1, right? Well, this is the second time we've had 2. All right, so, but that's okay. We know that 2 times 1 is 2, so we're going to go with that. Now, we already know we would never put that 2 here because, look, 6x times 2 would be 12x. We want a 7x, so that's not good. Let's undo. Undo, undo, undo. Let's try putting the 2 here and the 1 here. Well, let's go ahead and see. 6x times 1 gives me 6x. 2 times x gives me 2x. So I'm showing you a shortcut before we really commit to something. If we check the outer, so the 6x times the 1, that's what I'm referring to as the outer, and we combine that with the inner, the 2 times x is 2x, and we don't get our middle, then we know this is not the one. Okay, this is not the right one for us. Right? Now, could we switch the 2 and the 1 around? We sure could. Let's see, but you can probably already see right now, well, if you do that, that's not going to work, but let's just go ahead and do it anyways, all right? Because I only have 2 problems here, we can take our time. So let's go ahead and put the 2 here, and the 1 here. So then our outer 6x times 2 is going to be 12x. We're already like, we only wanted 7x. And then 1 times x is 1x. So already we're like, nope, you're not right. This whole thing is not right. So now we're going to go to this one. Okay? So 3x and 2x, we already know either the 2 goes here and the 1 goes here. Let's just try that first. And if it doesn't work, we'll switch the 2 and the 1. So once again, the shortcut is going to be, let's find pink. The shortcut's going to be, let's check the outer. So 3x times 1 is 3x times the inner, then multiply the inner. 2 times 2x is 4x, and then add the outer plus the inner. Oh, yay! We got our middle. This one's the right one, all right? Oh, I didn't even put my pluses in there. Let's put the pluses in there. All right, if we took the time and we distribute everybody, we'd get right back to this. So ultimately, what is the takeaway here? The takeaway here is this. Anytime, let's get rid of all these. Let's get rid of all this. Anytime you've got a number here, you're like, you have to put more thought into it. You either do the X method, or whatever that is, or you go ahead and you do a lot of just guessing and checking. And every time you guess and check, let's see, let's put it in the wrong place. Let's put the 2 here and the 1 here. Every time you guess and check, what you're really guessing and checking is to see, because you already, look, we already set it up so the 3x times the x gave us 6x squared, and the 2 times the 1 gave us the 2, all right? We don't need to check on that when we're doing the guess and check. What we're really checking is, does our outer plus our inner give us the middle? See how this one didn't work? Because 5x is not 7x. And that's why this answer was correct. All right, I think that we'll have fun practicing these on the boards. I'm looking forward to that because you all are smart, and I think we're going to have fun with these. All right, thanks for joining me, and let's do some math.